While students are getting ready to go back to school and pay heavy loans for a piece of paper, they might need a new laptop to do all their work on. Well, I'm here to help. The best I can anyway. So here's 5 tips to help you find the best computer to take back to school with you. I'll have a few linked down in the description below, but for the most part, we'll be discussing tips that you need to find your own perfect one. Let's get started. First, you have to ask yourself this: are you a Mac or PC person? Well, there's also Chromebooks as well, but those are more leaning towards people who need simple everyday tasks like email, web browsing, and document editing. Wait, scratch that. Forget everything I just said. It may not even matter because your school may tell you you need a certain type of computer to do your coursework. For example, Windows is usually an extraordinarily great option because it runs so many different programs and is usually the OS of choice for universities because of how widespread it is. But this should not stray you if you are a Mac user, because Apple themselves have implemented software within macOS that allows you to start running Windows alongside macOS, giving you the best of both worlds experience. So, to tell you the truth, you do have a choice between the two. You can pick whichever one you want. Utility and use case matters as well. What are you using this machine for? There are people out there who need nothing more but for a laptop to let them edit their documents, view PowerPoints, watch a couple of videos, and send some emails. And for that, a Chromebook is just perfect. But sometimes you gotta think a little bit in the long run. Do you need that, or will you need something even more in the near future? And because of that, you may want to consider a full-fledged laptop over a Chromebook, because Chromebooks are pretty limited in what they're able to do. You also need to consider what type of device you need for your particular schooling. Are you going in for engineering, business, computer science, number crunching, art? It all plays a role in helping you decide what you actually need. There are so many specifications that you have to consider when you're picking a device, and that's why we're going to talk about them. Processors. Generally, the higher the number, the better. For example, Intel names their processors i3s, i5s, and i7. However, there are different classes of these i processors, with each one providing a different type of value. One may sip barely any power, but gives you okay performance, and one may sip crazy amounts of power and give you excellent performance. To make the processor a little more relatable, I would say it's like the human brain. It determines how fast you'll finish a task or calculations. Then there's RAM. Think of RAM kind of like memorizing a phone number. Someone tells you a phone number, you memorize it, but you may not be able to remember the whole thing. Have you ever had 10 Google Chrome tabs and then your PC just freezes? Well, you need RAM. Contrary to popular internet jokes, RAM cannot be downloaded. Yeah, bummer. Then there's the graphics card. This one is pretty important. It determines how well your machine may be able to run computer games as well as 3D intensive tasks. It can also improve laptop snappiness, but don't think that you need the best graphics card in the world for your machine if all you're doing is just business applications. You don't. PowerPoint just isn't all that graphically intensive. The display is also a major one. Much like YouTube videos, a display's resolution determines how sharp it can possibly be. But don't let resolution alone fool you. There are other important factors to consider when it comes to displays, such as color vibrancy and color accuracy. You don't want washed out colors. So when it comes to displays, you'll have to research it. There's a lot of information on that. Then there's storage, the amount of files and items you can hold on your computer at one time. Hard drives have more room, solid state drives are faster. So it's all your choice on this. Do you need more room or do you need faster speed? Because solid state drives are much more expensive than their equivalent hard drives. So let's just say you don't put too much on your computer anyway, maybe a few programs, some photos, some documents, then 128 gigabytes is good enough for a solid state drive. Finally, there's features. How good is everything else on the laptop? Are the speakers crispy clear? Does it have the ports you want? Is this laptop a wall hugger when it comes to battery life? Does the webcam look beautiful or is it a potato? These are the extra bits that give some laptops an edge. Just some food for thought. So overall, pick the right specs for your own personal needs. So I guess we're done now, right? Don't forget to like, comment, and nope, next point. Your budget. This is probably the biggest and most important factor. While it would be nice to have everything you want in a machine, that seems a little too optimistic. more likely than not, you're gonna have to make some compromise. And the truth is, we can't break a budget, right? And I'm here to tell you that there are ways to help you maximize that budget. I'm gonna give you a few money saving tips that I personally use. Tactic number 1, student discounts. Many laptop manufacturers and some retailers provide students with student discounts, especially during the summertime, because that's back to school season. A few companies like Dell, Apple, and Best Buy, to name a few, have year-round promotions for their products. So with just a little bit of searching, you can find some pretty good deals. But then there's also tactic number 2, out-of-state retailers. If you buy from a retailer like BH Photo and you don't live in New York, you can buy your product tax-free. Finding a retailer like that is great, especially for when there is no good student discounts. And back to student discounts, you don't even need to be a student to actually get a student discount. All you really need is a .edu email address. From there, you can find the best computer for your needs. And lastly, there's preference. The first place everyone looks is their favorite brands. There is nothing wrong with picking a product from your favorite brand. Just make sure it fits your needs and you're not just picking it up because you worship the ground they walk on. Because to be honest, it just might not fit your needs completely. Anyway, those are my 5 tips, which should be more like 10, but you get the point. I really hope these tips help you out. I spent a lot more time on this video than my other videos because I wanted this to be all-encompassing and as helpful as possible. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, comment, and, well, don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.